BKAS2013. The Manager's Coffee is a restaurant located at University Utara Malaysia that has been operating since early 2016. The restaurant is a coffee business offering alternative coffee and popular Malaysian menus at affordable prices. The restaurant provides University Utara Malaysia residents, visitors, and university guests with dining facilities. The Manager's Coffee only has 6 employees, including the branch manager, who support the daily business. Only 3 employees will be on duty each day, and the rest will be on leave on the day. The Manager's Coffee uses a fingerprint attendance system to record their employees' attendance. The branch manager, Puan Nur Emilia, worked not only as branch manager, but also as a payroll officer, as she was the only person in charge of the payroll system, from collecting the data at the end of the month to calculate payments. She will calculate the amount on the 27th day of each month. The headquarters will perform the expense of each employee. The employee will receive the payment by online banking and the payslip through the email. These are the example of source document. Firstly, electronic time card. The second one is the example of the form, how they receive the email. We can't share the payment because it's confidential. The third one is payroll action form.
Good day, Doctor. I'm Yuganeshwari Saravanan and my matric number is 288451. Now I'm going to explain the table of entities and activities. There are 6 entities involved in this payroll system of Manager's Coffee. First, all employees record their attendance by scanning their fingerprints. The manager will verify the total number of hours has been calculated and key in the total working hours for each employee into the time card and spreadsheet, while the personal department sends the personal action form and records the information. At the end of the month, the computer will automatically create the monthly employee payroll records by computing the total salary for each employee by retrieving the data from employee master file and the salary rate. After receiving the data from payroll into the employee paycheck, the computer will create a paycheck for each employee and send all the payroll reports to the headquarters. After being approved, the individual employee payslips will be printed by the computer and distributed to each employee by the manager. The computer will generate a bank transfer file that contains all the employees' bank account details and the money to be paid into these accounts. At the end of the payroll system, the manager will record the paycheck into the file and update the general ledger file. Now, I would like to present the context diagram of the payroll system of Manager's Coffee. The highest level of GFD is called context diagram. The context diagram illustrates the data processing system and the external entities that are source of its input, which is manager, and personal department to its destination of its output. Next, I'm going to explain about physical data flow diagram of Manager's Coffee payroll system. A physical data flow diagram is a graphical representation of a system showing the internal and external entities and the data flow into and out of these entities. The DFD shows the 4 main processes, which is payroll department, work in process account, computer, and general ledger. Then, the data flow appears as arrows, which represent the flow of data between sources and destinations. Furthermore, I'm going to explain about flowchart. Flowchart is an analytical technique that describes some aspects of an information system in a clear, concise, and logical manner. Flowchart uses a set of standard symbols to depict processing procedures and the flow of data. The 5 internal entities shown in the flowchart are the manager, cost accounting, payroll department, computer, and general ledger. We use terminated symbols to represent the source and destination of documents and reports. The manager will send time cards to the payroll department, which will be manually keyed into employee records and will be posted into the documents and files. The records will be sent to the computer to update the salary and will be recorded to the employee payroll record disk. Then, the computer will generate the employee paycheck and the salary slip. The payroll department manually distributes the pay slips to the employee to check before paying salary through the bank. Finally, the labor disk summary report will be manually keyed into payroll clearing account. Then it will be posted to the general ledger disk while the labor disk summary report will be sent to the file. In conclusion, this flowchart shows the process of payroll system of manager's coffee, starting from time card and job tickets that manager collected, and finally disclosed in the computer and general ledger. Thank you. That's all from me.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ain Fakira-Auni binti Rizukifli and my matric number is 288413. So today I'm going to present about the strength of internal control procedures in the payroll cycle. As we all know, an organized and computerized payroll system can aid a business in carrying out pay operations successfully. The accuracy of internal control process used in manager's coffee payroll cycle is one of their strengths. The accuracy is applied in calculating the working hours of employees. Hence, managers coffee use a biometric scanner to record staff attendance. When this is the case, it makes it simpler for the business to input the data about the employee hours into the payroll calculation system. Meanwhile, authorization and control access are strengths of the internal control procedures in payroll system. Payroll system use individual employee codes or other recognition methods to ensure that employees report their hours worked. Since codes are not shared, one employee could not falsely clock in for another simply by using another employee's code. Based on the manager's coffee, maintain the highest degree of data confidentially, which may be done by restricting payroll and staff access to only approved personnel, the manager of the manager's coffee. So there is no access for employee to payroll records and the manager herself only knows the computer password, hence the chance to access employees to see other employees' information and payroll records. Lastly, capturing and maintaining accurate time and attendance data in this dynamic environment is a challenge addressed through advanced hardware and software technologies. Managers Coffee implements the technology to enter timekeeping data in real time to produce the time and attendance file.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Auni Fasil binti Muhammad Fathi with matric number 287900. I will present about the weaknesses of payroll system for managers coffee. Weaknesses increase the likelihood of data entry errors, causing payroll inconsistencies and subjecting a company to fines, penalties, and a tarnished reputation. First and foremost, the possible weakness in the payroll cycle as a mean is the lack of systematic internal audits. A typical mistake is to view an internal audit as an investigation of individuals or process to take corrective action if they have done something wrong. Since the internal audit of managers coffee is not efficient, it may affect the plans of the restaurant and high chances of employee fraud may happen. On the other hand, a possible weakness is the lack of payroll review. The payroll process review is the first step in determining what is operating correctly, what may be improved, and how overall it can assist you in improving the process of the payroll system. Since the lack of payroll review as a mean in managers coffee, there is a high chance of errors in an excessive amount of salary or manipulation of data in payroll record, which may affect the employee's pay slip. Last but not least, another possible weakness identified is the payroll processing division. Generally, a successful company separates duties to make the process flow for the company going to be smooth and avoid any problem with the responsibilities already divided among each employee. In this case, Manager's Coffee restaurant manager is the only person in charge of the payroll and human resource department. Hence, there is a high possibility for employees to be involved in cheating, especially during working hours. That's all from me. Thank you.
The payroll system maintains private data, including financial information about your company and employees. Numerous risk exposures could be attributed to internal weakness. The risk caused by the lack of systematic internal audit is the effectiveness and efficiency of the operational process. Is the key to the successful execution of organization's strategy. Without a proactive, periodic review of key operational process, inefficiency within this process may develop over time. The manager's coffee's payroll management is also inefficient. Other than that, the risk that the manager's coffee might face is calculation risk due to possible making an error. manager's coffee branch manager. She will calculate the payment at the end of the month manually after collecting the data. It shows a high possibility of making an error and risk in the calculation. The calculation error might affect the manager's coffee's employees' payment. Lastly, there is a possibility that the payment allocation of the manager's coffee company will be affected. Separating rules might make it easier to prevent identity and investigate fraud, which could lead to financial statement errors, legal penalties, reputational harm, and a loss of cash risk. The manager's coffee branch manager is the only person in charge of payroll records.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Nur Amira Natasha binti Muhammad Zudi. My metric number is 288277, and I am going to present about the internal control procedure. So the first internal control procedure is to hire a physical control internal auditor. The internal auditor's responsibility is to guarantee that all the company's business operations are risk management compliant. Referring to the manager's coffee situation, the manager is the only person responsible for preparing the payslip to be sent to the headquarters at the end of each month. This action is indirectly incorrect for the business because any mistakes can occur during the production of the payslip. Therefore, it is better to have a physical control internal auditor in manager's coffee to help the manager double-check all documents before being sent to the headquarters to be approved. The second internal control procedure is authorization from the Human Resource Department. No matter the company size, Human Resource Department is the crucial aspect of the operation. Its duties include increasing employees' productivity and safeguarding the business from any problems that could develop within the workforce. Before an employee's salary is approved to be deposited in the bank, it is significant for the timesheet record to be sent to the Human Resource Department for a review. After being reviewed and approved by the Human Resource Department, the employee's salary can be paid. If Manager's Coffee can implement this in their business, fraud can be eventually prevented. The second internal control procedure is authorization from the Human Resource Department. No matter the company size, Human Resource Department is the crucial aspect of the operation. Last but not least is segregation of duties. One important internal control is the separation of responsibilities, which prevents employees from being able to commit fraud or mistakes, also covering them up while doing their regular jobs. Managers Coffee should distribute tasks according to their respective departments, even though all individuals do the same job. This task distribution can help each of them pay full attention to their respective responsibilities. Thus, fraud and mistakes can be reduced and identified more quickly, if any.
In our understanding, the Manager's Coffee should make a few changes to enhance its business management. Manager's Coffee must implement appropriate internal control procedures to preserve the company's asset. Internal auditor's responsibility guarantees that all company's business operations are risk management compliant. The operational process comprises analyzing specific areas for compliance with applicable legislation and assessing how well the department has put its controls into practice.
That's all from us. Thank you.